Hey guys, I've never been on here before. One of my friends suggested this to me after seeing my situation, which is why I'm even here. I'm probably in the worst situation I can even imagine, and I'm clueless right now. So I do need your help. I told my friends about the situation, and she gave her point of view. But she's only 17, so before taking a big step, I do need your thoughts. I will not reveal my name or any other names, here, as my mom is chronically on this website. Well, guys, I'm 17 and female, and I grew up in a family where most of the family members have opposite opinions than mine. Most of them are selfish and just heartless. My grandfather, he was different. He was my idol and my friend in the family, but he passed away very recently. I'm the youngest member of the family, so nobody gives a damn about me. Along with their selfish mentality, they're cheapskates. Their act had traumatized me to the core. See, they would act like a whole different person in front of others. They would go ahead to betray that they are full of love, peace, and light, but inside the walls of our home, they're a whole new person. It gets hard to pick my jaw up on the floor watching them act in front of others. I get comments like I'm really lucky to have a family like that, but only me and my best friend know the truth behind those fake smiles. Well, one time our kitchen caught on fire, and it happened because my mother was attempting to cook in the middle of the night while she was drunk. The fire did not burn down the whole kitchen, it was just the oven and the top shelf over it. But my mom acted like the whole kitchen was on fire because she thought that she could get a new kitchen item if she acted like that. She even put a bandage over her leg and claimed that her leg also caught fire. Our neighbors were taking pity on her situation, and they all gave us whatever they could. When I was little, they used me as a prop to drain out money from others, and I was born with one flat foot. Everybody had a curve in between toes and heels, but for me it was flat. It may be considered abnormal in the books, but it was perfectly normal for me. You won't even be able to tell if you look at it, however. My father spread it like I couldn't walk because of that, and even opened a donation page for my recovery. I was too little back then, so I had absolutely no idea that they were using me. Every night they would sit in the dining area and discuss these moments very, very proudly. Like it was some kind of an achievement. You know, guys, I commented against them many times, but every time they would tell me I was still young and I didn't know how society works, and they would justify themselves by saying that the world is full of selfish, narcissistic people, and that if you want to live a happy life in this society, you have to be like them as well, or else you won't survive for a second. I don't understand their viewpoints and beliefs, and my father had cheated on my mother, and they're still together. My father slept with her boss to get a promotion, and I was probably 10 at the time. My mom was angry at him at first, but when he explained why he did it, she forgave him. They were okay with everything as long as they were getting money out of it. See, we have a small business. 3 cafes in the city. My grandpa made those and passed them down to his sons. One of them is near college and it makes the most profit, so my father tricked his brother into taking it, even though one of my uncle lives near it. Well, another cafe, not ours, was right beside the road. They were doing better than ours, and just to ruin the business, my father used my mom to lure them, and she snuck cockroaches into their food. They told me to do the job, but I refused. See, they suggested I take a job in their cafe as a waitress and sneak something into customers' food. I had to go through a lot because of the refusal, and when they found out the other cafe owner's son was my friend, it was a whole different scenario. I was grounded by them for 2 whole weeks. After that, I was not allowed to talk to my friend. My older brother, who's 10 years older than me, turned out to be just like them. In fact, I can say that he's meaner than others. I don't know how he was in school, but just by witnessing his behavior towards me or anyone who opposes his idea, I can tell he was a bully. After Dad's promotion, he has taken over the cafe. He hardly works, and he told me to work at the cafe for experience, but left all the work to me. You know, I struggled because I was just supposed to be a waitress, not a manager. My brother and I never got along because of our different views. He's very money-minded, and he's a playboy, too. He says that he works hard to build that attitude and claims that women dig for men like him. I don't agree with it, but hey, he visits clubs with his friends 2 to 3 times a week and just to pick up drunk girls for one-night stands. One time, a girl showed up in our cafe and was trying to find my brother, and as usual, I was there the moment instead of him, and when she learned that I was his sister, she pleaded with me to give his number or our address because she was pregnant and claimed that my brother was the father. She looked desperate, so I gave her my brother's number and our address. When the girl did not get any answers from calling, she showed up. She was crying and was telling me why she was there. Anyways, everyone in the family was extremely rude to her and said that she was a gold digger, but she had proof and told them no, she could go and take a DNA test if that's what needed, and they shut her down and offered a hefty amount of money. They suggested her to terminate, but she refused. I've never seen her after that, and I really wanted to confront her because she looked helpless. I still regret not taking her number when she showed up. However, when they got to know it was me who gave her the address and number, they scolded me and called me nothing more than irresponsible. Well, if that's what they want to call me, then fine. My mother even said I wanted my brother behind bars so I could take everything. My brother has been in and out of toxic relationships of a girlfriend for 5 years now. I think the relationship is so toxic. The girl is an addict, and because of her, my brother once got into weed. Well, she is one of those girls who think smoking in public and being a junkie is cool. I feel relieved whenever they broke up, even for a short period of time, because she would come to the cafe with a bunch of her friends, and all of them are bullies. She had never physically harmed me, but verbally they had abused me on many occasions. They think it was her cafe and will order food for free, and they never left the cafe without leaving a gigantic mess. A biker gang came to the cafe once, and one of the girls flirted with them, but they did not like it. When a guy told her to stop, they threw hot coffee at him, burning his face. She panicked and claimed that he started it. However, police were called to fix the situation, and I was in charge. I was scolded by everybody in the family for not controlling the situation when I had time. They said because of my incapability, their sales would die down. Quick note, at the time I was 15 years of age. However, my parents don't approve of the girlfriend only because she doesn't have money. Her attitude and crimes, that did not bother them at all. We never struggled financially until COVID came. Colleges were shut down and they were operating from home through online classes, so we only had 1% of the customers that we used to have. This was not the case for one of my uncles, as he was shopping near a hospital. His business was booming at this point, and even though there were regulations to open the shop for particular hours, my dad tried to take the cafe from him but failed. By the time they knew very well what kind of person he was, and they were strong enough not to fall for their guilt trips. I don't understand one thing, though. They're cheapskates. They don't use the money, all they do is save it, and my father already has a job, so why are they so hungry and selfish for money? I mean, even though they were claiming we're financially struggling, I'm sure the savings they had can feed us for years with ease. However, one day, my brother came back from the club and said that he met a girl in the club who was rich and an only child. He said that he would go out with her, and my parents looked proud of him. For them, bagging a rich girl was an achievement. I was confused by the situation because, he had a girlfriend, and the last time I knew they didn't break up for a few months. So I asked him, I know the girl he's dating is not good, but nobody deserves to be cheated on. He casually said that she knew everything and she agreed to it. He said if the rich girl fell for him, he would just try to ask for help to support our business. That's it. He said even if the girl fell for him, he would make sure to draw a line and tell her that she is only his friend. But I have heard him talking with the girl, and it's way more than just a friend. I mean, if I talk like that to a friend from the other cafe, they will disown me. I'm conflicted about the ongoing situation, because my instincts say that he's cheating on his girlfriend or just using the new girl for his benefit, but when I told my best friend about it, she said I'm overthinking it, and said everybody was different, and they have different ways to approach other genders. Just on the basis of how he talks with the girl, I can't confront him. I need to make sure that he's really cheating and exploiting two different women. Do you think that I'm over analyzing the situation, please give your viewpoint. I would appreciate any kind of suggestions. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. Oh my goodness, today's story is out of control. This family needs help. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about today's story, guys. I do have multiple updates, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button because we have some pretty crazy stories every single day. Right now, we have update number 1 coming for you, but there is 4 updates on today's story. Here it is. Update number 1. I'm here with an update after a couple of weeks, and I hate to say this, but you guys won't like it. My speculations were right. My brother is definitely trying to woo her instead of just being friends. I'll tell you about some incidents that happened recently that were giving that away, though. But before I do that, I need to clear things out because I was accused of being a silent witness to the crimes. Which incident do you think I kept my mouth shut on? I don't get grounded and scolded by my family thousands of times just to get accused of this. One time, I could not do anything when my father was cheating on my mom. But I think that I forgot to mention my age at the time. See, I was a toddler during the incident, and I was not even capable of forming words, let alone voicing out my opinions. Almost every evening, my family gathered in the living room and discussed things, from where I had learned what mischievous deeds they were up to. I have voiced out many times and ended up getting grounded or scolded for it. They ignored me by saying it was my teen rage. I'm sure that they've done many things so that they could have ended up in jail, but to be completely honest with you guys, I don't know what crimes are jail-worthy, and I also think that I'm too young to take that step. Anyways, I think I should move on to my update now. So, the girl my brother was supposed to befriend with, she seems really nice. She came to our cafe once when my brother was there, and the moment she entered the cafe, my brother ordered me to do something in the storage. I knew he was trying to get rid of me, and I was curious and hid behind the door to hear their conversation. Some of you guys said that my brother has an ill motive towards the girl, so I was pretty curious. The girl sounded genuinely concerned about the business loss and was asking multiple questions about it. My brother, as predicted, was faking the situation and tried to make it look worse than it already was. But then I saw him kissing her, and yeah, I was shocked. So he was just lying to me so that I wouldn't ruin it and reveal that he has a girlfriend? After the kiss, they went out, and I was furious and decided to confront him once I went home. I gathered everybody in the living room and explained what he did. I told them that he was cheating on his girlfriend, and none of them seemed to care about whatever I said. I hate being the youngest in the family. My brother said that he's broken up with his girlfriend and he really likes this girl. I'm not buying it because his on-off girlfriend still shows up in our cafe every now and then. Well, she usually doesn't do it when they're on break. Also, to be honest, the girl is very pretty, but she's not the type with whom my brother would mingle around with. I need to make a plan to expose him. Please, any suggestions would be great. Update number 2. Gosh, I'm cursing myself for being born inside of this house. My brother was wooing the girl and was cheating on her at the same time. Sorry for the delay in the update. It's been almost 6 months since the last post. To be honest, I thought I would have come here for advice, no more, but here I am. My brother was with the girl, and he seemed to treat her right all the time. They used to go on dates, and she gave him advice on his business, and his ex-girlfriend was not in the picture the whole time, and I thought he was serious about the girl. I was happy with his choice because my future sister-in-law seemed really nice and affectionate. She decided to renovate our cafe as she is an interior designer by profession. Well, because of that, we spent a lot of time together. She doesn't hold any pride in the money that her family has at all. There was countless times where she suggested that she would take care of the cafe and told me to focus on my studies. You see, after my grandfather, she was the one who would seem to care about my well-being more than anyone. I was on cloud 9. I can assure you that pursuing this relationship over that toxic ex-girlfriend was the only good thing that he had done in his lifetime. My future sister-in-law used to talk about my brother a lot. She always tried to ask me about my brother's likes and dislikes, and she was invested in making him happy. I was looking forward to having her in my house, and I was confident that we would be good friends. But recently, all my dreams shattered into pieces after witnessing my nightmare. I caught my brother talking to someone lovingly, but I knew my future sister-in-law was busy and an important meeting at the time, because she texted me before it. Curious, I asked who he was talking to, and he said it was my future sister-in-law. Well, I was obviously suspicious, and my doubts were confirmed when I caught my brother with his ex-girlfriend near our cafe kissing. I was angry and took a photo of them for evidence. When I confronted him that evening, he admitted the truth. I told him he had to tell his fiancée and break it off if he wanted to be with his ex. She doesn't deserve to be cheated on or ghosted, as she's very serious about him. This time, my parents shut me up. They said that I'm the enemy of this family and don't want to see my family succeed. Well, they ignored me and discussed their next plan with my supposed-to-be sister-in-law, and turns out he was only using her for money. Well, before this, it was just about asking for help to improve our business, but now they're planning to take over her father's business. Without marrying her, it won't be possible, which is why he was wooing her. After that, he's planning to divorce her and marry his girlfriend. My parents thought his plan was absolutely brilliant, and assured him that they would support him and accept his addicted girlfriend if he managed to pull this off. Well, I was shocked. I was heartbroken by their words, and my supposed future sister-in-law had never been rude to them once. She tried to help them every time she was around them, and she treated our problem as her problem. How heartless someone has to be to treat her like that? I can't let that happen to her. Please tell me, what should I do? Update number 3. Hey guys, it's been a few days since my last update. I want to thank you guys for all the suggestions. I'm so happy that I got you guys here. My family. I don't feel like anybody understands me at all. But you guys made me believe that I'm the only person who holds this kind of opinion. Because of their consistent narcissistic attitude, I was on the verge of believing their viewpoints to be normal. Thank you for not letting me give in to it. I know I would get unimaginable punishment from my family for doing this, but I just could not let them get away of their selfish and live a happy life after treating the person like a rag doll and throwing them into the street. After that night, I told my supposed-to-be future sister-in-law that I want to meet her for shopping. My parents had threatened me not to tell her a word, and I fakely agreed to them and assured them that I would cooperate with everything. So when I told my parents I was going shopping with my future sister-in-law, they didn't say anything. I told her everything without missing a beat. I wanted to be crystal clear about it, but as I expected, she simply did not believe me. I'm not going to hold her accountable for it. She was undoubtedly in love with my brother, and everything was genuine from her side of the view. She was dreaming about this dream wedding, and of course it would be hard for her to let go of all of it in a second. She said that I was saying those things because I don't like her, and don't want her to be my sister-in-law. I denied it and assured her that even if she did not get married to my brother, I will still be happy if she became my friend. But still she doesn't believe it. I decide it's time to collect a bit of proof to give it to her. My family discusses the progress of the wedding plan frequently. I did not join them until now. I didn't want to be a part of the scam, so I usually made some excuses and confined myself in my room. But to collect proof, I started joining them. I had installed a hidden camera to record everything, and after collecting every bit of proof I could manage to get, I showed them to my future sister-in-law. I also showed her the picture I took in the underpass of my brother and his ex-girlfriend kissing. She was a crying mess, and it broke my heart to do this to her, but it was for her own damn good. People like us get easily manipulated and played by people like my brother or parents. Most of the time we lose mainly because of our cowardness and positive attitude. I could not let that happen to her after witnessing everything in my own eyes. I know an unbearable punishment is waiting for me, but I can endure this. I did my part, and I know I have to wait for my future sister-in-law to make her move. I'll update you guys when it's time. Final updates. Sorry I took so long to update. It's been 3 months. Well, much longer than expected. In my defense, my supposed sister-in-law took time to take action. I don't blame her. She's not familiar with evil people and their actions. After our encounter, she called me to say that her situation got way too toxic and out of hand, and she needs some time alone. She promised me that she would break the relationship off, but she said she wants to do it properly with a clear mind, and for that she needs some time away. She's vulnerable, and my family is very manipulative, so, I think she made a wise decision. After about a month, she came to our house and told them everything, and also said that the marriage was off of the charts now. They tried to manipulate her as expected, but she showed the proof and said I told her everything. I was scared. I knew that day would come, but I could not help myself. Of course, they were angry and grounded me for an infinite time. Meanwhile, they tried to put all the blame on me. They said I was jealous of her and I edited everything to break the marriage, but fortunately my ex-future sister-in-law did not believe it. When they failed to convince my ex-future sister-in-law, they decided that grounding me won't be enough. They were so angry that they told me to get out of the house. They even said they would not give me any money or my belongings to live by. I was not expecting that harsh of a punishment. I know they won't let me enter the cafe again, and I have no work or money to live all by myself. Well, they gave me a few days to pack my crap, and my phone privileges were taken off, and I could not contact anyone at first. Thankfully, my best friend came for a book. They could not say no to her as they were obsessed with pretending to be good people in front of outsiders. They threatened me to not say anything to her. Well, I slipped a note explaining everything and put it under the book, and also mentioned that she should contact my ex-future sister-in-law. Fortunately, the next day, my ex-future sister-in-law told my uncles about what happened, and they came to rescue me. Well, from then, I learned that I was the owner of the house. You see, listen to this, it gets pretty crazy. My grandfather, he gave it to me before he died. He gave the will to my uncle to keep it safe and instructed me to pass the will once I turned 18. Now the tables have turned, baby. Since my birth, I was getting harsh treatment from my family and I wanted to pay it all back. Long story short, I gave them an ultimatum. 3 days to pack their crap and leave. My uncle supported me in the decision and made sure that they left the house as I commanded. I've heard that they're living in the cafe now. I don't know if I will take them back and let them enter my life again. But for now, I'm not going to do it. They need to know what it feels like to be rude to someone. My parents blocked my way on the streets and threatened to take legal action against me a few times. But I just know very well that they can't do a darn thing. On the other side, my ex-future sister-in-law and I became close after that. She visits me often and we enjoy some quality time together. She is thankful that I saved her by risking my life and also said that if my grandfather had not given the house to me, she would have taken me in. The precious friendship we have created will not get exploited by anything else.